Hello guys, Fred here from Pro Tennis Trader. I hope you're well. In this video, I'll be sharing with you my pre-tournament trading strategy selections for the Australian Open, which of course starts on Sunday, the 14th of January. As usual, I'll be running my Platinum Trader service, so please do check it out and you can enroll and see past results at protennistrader.teachable.com. And of course, I'll put a link in the description box below. So this is a strategy that you can adopt before any tennis tournament begins. The general idea of it is that when you back a player before the tournament starts, their price will shorten as they progress through the tournament, and hence we can take profits along the way. But of course, it's not as black and white as this. You simply can't randomly select any player and expect to make profit from them as they glide through each round of the tournament seamlessly. You need to have a clearly defined strategy with a risk-managed approach. And I've done a video a while back covering this, so please check out this video, which of course the link is in the description box below. But for the purposes of this video, I'll just recap on the criteria that I look for before telling you my selections. So I adopt a 4-point staking plan. So I'll only ever be risking a maximum of 4 points on this strategy. Now, if you want to know more about my banking strategies and risk management approach, then you can take my free Introduction into Tennis Trading course. Now, essentially, my trading bank is made up into an overall of 100 points with a 4 points per match risk strategy. So with this strategy, we are adopting the same level of risk as we would do in a usual tennis trading match. Now, one of the reasons for this strict staking method is due to the fact that very often you may have a number of match risks happening at the same time. And of course, you don't want to run out of your bank to fund your trades due to the funds being tied up elsewhere. So before we move on to how we are going to attribute this 4-point stake, let's take a look at some pricing. So essentially for this strategy, I classify players into different risk categories, and this will enable us to evaluate the level of risk and therefore calculate the stake for each player that we are backing. So there are 4 categories. There's category 1, which are low risk players. Category 2, which are medium risk players. Category 3, high risk. And category 4, very high risk. Now, of course, much like when we are placing any other types of trades, the level of risk is directly proportionate to the opposing level of reward. So with low risk, you get low reward. With high risk, you get high reward. Now, of course, this level of risk is directly relative to probability. So low risk, low reward, higher probability. Higher risk, higher reward, lower probability. And so this is the criteria that I use to classify players for the purpose of this trading strategy. So for category 1, these are players priced under 5.0. Category 2 are players priced between 5.01 and 10.0. Category 3 are players priced between 10.01 and 20.0. And then category 4, which are our very high risk players, these are players priced above 20.01. So here is the staking plan for this strategy. Now please remember, we are only risking an overall trade stake of 4 points. So this is how I attribute these 4 points. I'll place 1 point on a category 1 player. So this is a player priced under 5.0. I will then place another point on category 2 players. Now these will be split over 1 or 2 players, depending on other criteria. I will then split 1.5 points on category 3 players. Now this may be over 2 or 3 players. And then for the final half a point, I will place this half point on a category 4 player, actually split between 2 to 4 players. Now these are very high risk, but of course, if it pays off, they are high reward. Okay, so that is the staking plan for this pre-tournament trading strategy. So here are my selections for the Australian Open. Now these are my personal selections, and as a disclaimer, this is not financial investment advice, and if you do follow my selections, of course, you do so at your own risk. So, first of all, for the category 1 player, we've got Novak Djokovic, and of course, he is usually my category 1 player, and often this pays off quite well. He's often a dead cert. Category 2 players, we've got 1 point split over 2 players here. We've got Alcaraz, priced at 5, and Rybakina, priced at 6.8. For the category 3 players, this is 1.5 point split, so a 0.75 points on Yannick Sinner at 8.4 and Medvedev at 12.5. Now for the category 4 players, I've actually gone for 4 players here. So it's a 0.5 point split. So these are small stakes, but they could potentially pay off. We only really need one of them to pay off to make a nice profit here. So we've got Zverev priced at 30, Dimitrov priced at 55, Ons at 50, and Svitolina at 70. So those are my Australian Open pre-tournament strategy selections. Now please be aware that these players are not simply pulled out of a hat. There is a great degree of analysis that goes into selecting these players, including recent form, past performance, in-play stats, and of course their records at the tournament itself. Now with the strategy, some selections are highly influenced by their prices, but there is a lot more that goes on behind the scenes that goes on with these selections. Now please remember that you do need to have a strategy for when you're going to start locking in profit on these selections as the tournament progresses. This is not a sit and leave strategy in the hope that one of the selections will win the tournament. You're looking to lock in profit as the tournament progresses by laying them off, and also keep an eye on who your players could potentially face in the next round, as you may find that a player whose price is shortened may then drift if they're suddenly facing a much higher ranked player in the next round, or a player which is showing really good form. Now of course, feel free to follow my selections, but as always, this is at your own risk and I accept no responsibility for any losses incurred. Now I hope you enjoy the Australian Open as much as I will, and if you've taken my course already and have not yet signed up to the Australian Open Platinum Traders, you can do so by following the link in the description box below, which is protennistrader.teachable.com. Now please note that enrolment closes on Saturday the 13th of January. Happy trading. Now if you found this video useful, then please do check out my YouTube channel for loads more videos and subscribe to be notified of when I upload new videos. And if you'd like to become a successful tennis trader, then you can start your journey by enrolling on my free video course, An Introduction into Tennis Trading, at protennistrader.com. And you can also grab a free copy of my ebook, Tennis Trading, the Ultimate Guide to Getting Started. I'll see you soon.